Hello everyone, this is Dave Deese, and welcome to 5 Minute ProDev, where I get to talk to you about some professional development training. Today we're going to talk about communications in the workplace. Communications. Communications is the expression of ideas and feelings, be it verbal, written, or other methods, such as this type of a recording, or any way that you communicate with others. And it's more than just speaking, it is a search to understand each other. So to truly communicate, it's not a matter of just speaking what's on your mind or just listening to other people, which is important, but it's really the search to understand one another. And by building this skill, it will help you better understand the people you serve and to lead to your team's success. The first and probably the most important skill you can practice is how to listen at least twice as much as you talk. The best communicators in the world know that the best way to communicate is truly listen to what another person is saying to you and not be so ready to just jump in and speak your mind. And speaking of that, let's not interrupt other people. What happens when somebody is trying to express their idea or what's important to them? When you interrupt, you're feeling it's important that you get your point across as well. And what happens is you've cut them off, so you've already made a decision, you've kind of stopped listening, and they haven't finished their communications. So the best thing you can do is really practice letting the other person finish their thought before you speak. In other words, don't interrupt. Another skill that's really important in communications, whether it's written word or verbal communication or any other form, video or whatever, is to speak in terms of the other person's interests, kind of like from their point of view, standing in their shoes for a moment. So what's an example of that? A lot of times it's easy for you, especially if you enjoy sports, to use sports analogies. Well, what if you're speaking to somebody who doesn't understand sports or doesn't even like sports? Well, then you shouldn't use those analogies. Find something else. So if they're into cooking, try to use those analogies. Analogies help us because in our brain, we like to relate to something we already understand. But don't assume that everybody knows sports and your favorite team. Again, this is about talking from the other person's point of view and what their interests are. Endeavor to find common ground. We all have common ground. In the workplace, we want to be successful, or we want to keep our jobs, or we all want to be recognized for good work. Whatever it might be, and whenever you have a challenge that you think you can't find common ground with someone else, endeavor to find it. Really work hard to get to the basic level of what you all have in common and work from there. Another important skill is to respond thoughtfully, even if it takes some time. Some of the best talks, or just some of your favorite communicators, people that you walk away and say, wow, they're a really good listener. It's usually because they're responding thoughtfully. And if they can't respond right away, they kind of take a breath and they kind of think about it. Or they'll be honest. If you tell them your idea, you might not get an answer right away. The person might say, that's a great question. Let me think on that. But it's really important that when you respond to somebody who's communicating an idea or asking you for help, that you respond thoughtfully. So what are some of the best practices for communications in the workplace? Remember, listen 2 times as much as you speak, at least twice as much. So you really want to become a good listener, don't interrupt, and let the other person finish. Again, not interrupting what they're saying if they're in the middle of communicating an idea or concern or even a question. Speak in terms of the other person's interests. Yes, it's good to express your idea from your point of view, but it's even more important if you want to be a successful communicator and drive your team's success to speak in the terms that the other person understands. Find common ground. There's always common ground, no matter what we have. In today's world, sometimes it seems like it's really, really hard. But most of us want to have a good job. We want our teams to be successful. We want our business to work. We want to be happy at home. We want to be healthy. We want to raise healthy, safe families. Get down to the level where you all have something in common. It can be hard, especially with people you don't commonly get along with, but endeavor to find that. And then lastly, respond thoughtfully. Take your time. No one says that you have to respond right away when the person's done talking. You may have to take a moment and think. Because you're a smart person, that's what you're going to do. And great communicators think about what they're going to say, and then they respond thoughtfully. Our reading list for this lesson, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This has a lot of the tips and tools you'll need to be a good, successful communicator. And then Ready to Go, Instructional Strategies that Build Collaboration, Communication, and Critical Thinking by Denise White and Alyssa Brady. So this is a great book that talks about multiple skills, and communication is just one of them. And that is our 5-Minute ProDev Communications in the Workplace. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more quick tips on professional development, Microsoft 365, and Microsoft Teams. If you'd like to see more in-depth videos, or perhaps would like customized training on professional development or Microsoft 365 applications, check out our website at www.knowledgewave.com. The KnowledgeWave Learning Site offers access to thousands of on-demand videos and training that are constantly updated to address all the newest features that Microsoft has to offer. Visit our site or call us today to learn more.